Why are the Calton girls so evil?
Will we ever see the two rivers again?
And maybe it's time to just start calling Fael Stabby Bell from now on. We'll answer all these questions and more as we review the penultimate episode of Season 3 on the penultimate episode of Bustin' Blockbusters. Here we go. Season 3, Episode 7, Goldeneyes. It's all about the two rivers. Not a single shot anywhere else, except maybe in the trailer after or in the trailer before. I don't even remember if there was anything in the previously on. At any rate, this episode was written by Dave Hill. It was directed by returning director Kieran Donnelly, who did the first two episodes of this season, and will do this and the finale. And so, we're not even going to waste any time. We want to talk the Wheel of Time, Season 3, Episode 7 with you. So let's begin with ratings. Priscilla, how would you rate Season 3, Episode 7, Goldeneyes on a scale of 1 to 10?
8.9 out of 10, double Vs.
Double V?
Federer's Valda. Yeah, look, we all know that Valda kind of deserved to die. We all know that, objectively. He was not a good person, but he was still a child. So I am against children being killed. That's all that I'm going to say.
It's like the Lord of the Flies, children versus children.
Yeah, it was a children on a child. It was 2 against 1. It was not okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's all you want to say?
No, I have to say something else, right?
Sure, if you have to.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I already said it. I'm not really fond of battle episodes, but I think this one it was kind of okay to good, in my opinion. I was surprised that I actually enjoyed the action scenes, and I'm still very much surprised by how things turn out, to be honest, because I was expecting it was both faithful to what happened in the books and not faithful at all. So it was kind of like, I still don't know. I still don't know what to think. So when I don't know what to think, I go by what I felt. And what I'm feeling right now is I'm grieving.
For Child Valda.
Yeah.
Not for Loial, just for Child Valda.
Yeah, no. Yes. I'm sorry, Loial. I still hope Loial will come back eventually as a spirit or whatever. I don't know. Okay. But Child Valda is gone. Gone.
And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind.
That didn't get blown out.
By the one power that it did you in. And I would have loved to known you when you were just a kid. Your candle burned out in the two rivers. Your memory never will.
All
wow.
Right. That's Elton Bubba for you, ladies and gentlemen.
The audience is dropping right now.
Yeah, we just lost the 30 viewers.
We just lost 29 over 30.
Well, Bubba, since you're in a singing mood, why don't you sing the praises of this episode, Season 3, Episode 7, Goldeneyes?
Yeah, I am going to give this episode 9 out of 10 quadruple L's.
Quadruple L's?
Lusty Loial's lonely sacrifice. I forgot what the final L was. Apologies. But it was an L.
We just lost the only one. The last one.
That's why I went 9 out of 10 is I dropped an L. So let me say, within this episode, there are a lot of what I would call paint by the numbers. Hey, we're setting up a fantasy battle type moments. And they didn't really thrill me too much. But when it worked, when this battle worked, when the moments hit, I thought it was incredible. So I have to give a rating of 9 out of 10. For so long, Priscilla, you joke, but when Child Valda showed up on the show back in season 1, I was like, this character is great. They need to let him cook. And then sure enough, in this episode, they did let him cook. Flame broiled. Hello. Now, let me say, in this episode, there were a lot of times when me, the show watcher, the person who's not read these books at all that this season is covering, I'd be thinking to myself, why don't they do blank? And then within a couple of minutes, the show would actually do it. For example, when Perrin and Barnhold were having their parlay before the big battle, I kind of thought, Perrin, you need support. Why not just tell him that if you survive the battle, you'll go with him and yada yada. And literally 2 minutes later, Perrin said it. I thought to myself, Loial, you can't knock down the gate, but they keep showing us that the floor is kind of floating in this void, destroyed the floor. And a couple minutes later, it was later, Loial. Incredible. If you're going to die in a fantasy battle, you want to go out like Loial, a true hero. So some people might say, well, Bubba, non-book reader, isn't it predictable that you thought of these things? No, I thought it was logical. So there was one single thing, I want to see if you guys can guess it, where I thought, oh, why don't they do this? But the show didn't do it. Can you guess what that one thing was?
Paden Fane not dying.
Ooh, real close. I
Oh.
thought, Perrin tells Paden Fane, he's like, listen, you call him off and, get out of here and your fear of dying won't happen. So I wanted Perrin to have Paden Fane call all the Trollocs and all the Dark Friends off. And then I wanted Perrin to renege on the deal and slaughter them all. I mean, why let these villains walk away? But hey, we've got a final battle to prepare for. So 9 out of 10. I was very high on those moments that worked. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I can't talk about it in this section, but I've got a real problem with the whole Paden Fane thing. Nonetheless, I gave this episode a 9.1 out of 10, what I like to call double C's.
Double
C's?
Yeah, combustible child Valdas. There were changes from the books, and some of them made me very sad. And some of them just kind of disappointed me a little bit. Nonetheless, as Bubba said, it's a pretty predictable battle, but it made sense for it to be predictable. And as someone who has read those battles and everything, I mean, a lot of what RJ does is kind of tropic in these books, Now, we may call them tropic now. They may not have been as tropic when he actually wrote them back in the 90s. But nonetheless, they're still pretty standard. But that's the kind of thing that you want to live up to. There were a couple of nods to things that I really liked as well. And the only problem that I have is that I specifically watched this episode on my computer, knowing it was going to be dark, knowing it was going to be difficult, simply because I did not want to see the fallacy that is the CGI Trollocs. Those prosthetics look so beautiful, and those CGI models that they're using and the way that they move does not. So I tried to hide it from myself by making the episode as dark as possible for me, and I still got disgusted by it. And that's what took almost the whole point off for me. The only thing that really took almost the whole point off for me.
Wow.
Well,
that's just
Matt, you gave 9 out of 10, but you've spent a lot of time talking about what you didn't love.
No, wait a second. He gave 9.1.
Oh, 9.1 out of 10, right. So yeah. I want to hear like one thing. I know we're going to talk about claiming our fifths, but what is one thing you loved? They earned it, the 9.1.
Perrin learning how to understand Fael's role. One thing, the way that, well, first of all, I loved just kind of the building, the chemistry between the two of them as the episode went on, starting out with her calling him and her father a baby. and then moving onward to, he's saying, stay behind me, which is the very thing that he did with Aviendha in season 2. And Aviendha said, no, you're going to learn. I can handle myself. Well, he learned that too. When Fael started to protest, he says, I just need you to cover my back. I need you to kill everybody that I don't get killed as I'm going forward. Those kinds of things I absolutely loved. I loved Bane and Chiad coughing as Perrin says, the Tuathuan are the fastest runners. I thought that was hilarious. Their little protest there. I had a theory that the woman who was a dark friend that was with Pat and Fane on the cliff would turn out to be Fael's mom. Didn't happen, but I liked seeing her get her throat slashed by Bane and Chiad just the same. So those kinds of things. Loial's sacrifice, again, not from the books. It makes me sad, but I think it was meaningful for the story. You had to lose someone in a show where you've got so many characters, and they've tried killing Loial before, and in the end of season 1. And then he just magically came back in season 2. So I'm expecting him to be hanging on after falling for about 3 days, finding one of those little edge cliffs and hanging on and grabbing it, going into a different way gate, coming out by a steading so that he can fix his longing, and then being back for season 4. Yeah.
Can't keep a good Ogier down.
Can't keep a good Ogier down. Let's talk about our favorite scenes. And we call this Take Your Fifth. It's an Aiel thing. Bubba, let's start with you. What was your favorite scene from this episode, or scenes?
Well, I called him Lusty Loial because if you're going to die, let's make out with 2 hotties. Let's go. And so the Maiden's Kiss, Matt, you've been against it this whole time, but we're about to get some Beauty and the Beast, literally, beauties, plural, and the Beast make out session. I think it was, I thought it was great, and I thought it was fun. And in an episode which should have all these emotions, you should be sad, you should be fearful, you should feel triumphant and happy. I even like silly and fun. And so the fact that it had this silly, fun Maiden's Kiss moment, I liked it. That's the 5th that I'm claiming. And let me say, we've gone through 7 episodes. I still have no idea what Take Your Fifth means. Thank you very much, Matt.
When the Aiel conquer you, they take a 5th of your possessions.
If you say so.
Okay.
Priscilla, what was your favorite part of the episode?
Well, I think you already said it, but I love the scene of Perrin asking Fael to get behind him, and then she gets a little bit angry. Then he says, "Yeah, you have to kill the ones I miss," right? So I loved it, absolutely love it. It was my favorite moment there, say from the past 2 episodes, actually.
Okay. Yeah, mine was Perrin Loial related when he read from the book about himself, and how much of a different character that Loial painted, a true character to Perrin, truer to Perrin's character than he ever perceived himself. And Bane and Chiad doing their little sign off. That was very sweet. That was a nice way to say goodbye for now to Loial. We've only got one topic on the wheel, really. Well, okay, we've got 2. We've got the 2 rivers, and we've got Child Valda. So it's a 50-50 split. Let's spin the wheel and see what happens.
Chico, how odd. How did it land there? Wait a minute.
I think we should memorialize Child Valda.
Okay.
And I want to formally request that we, out of respect for Valda, we don't have the fire weave of the week. I think it's extremely disrespectful.
Well, it is easy pickings. I will say that. Yeah, you're right. We'll talk about it.
Well, let's go into Child Valda. As the non-book reader, he showed up in season 1, and I know we're battling evil Trollocs, and we've got the dark one appearing as a flame, or what I thought was the dark one appearing as a flame in people's dreams. But Child Valda being, so humanly, so petty evil, torturing characters we loved like Perrin and Egwene. I thought he was a wonderfully delicious villain. Like, you wanted to hate him, and you did hate him. The show wanted our heroes to fight him, and you wanted our heroes to fight him. In season 2, he didn't get much to do. In season 3, he didn't get to do much other than be a devil on drunk Marnhold's shoulder. So the fact that he was a evil devil that ended up burning, chef's kiss. He had burned people, I'm pretty sure, back in season 1. And now he's a great way to roast marshmallows. I thought it was great. Is it because I'm missing something from the book? Like, is he especially more evil in the book? What do you think, Priscilla? Like, why are you so heartbroken over this toasty white cloak?
I mean, other than I wanted him to become the boss of all the children of the light.
Yeah, okay, that would be good.
I
Right.
wanted him to have a bigger role, actually, than
Okay.
he eventually got it. And season 1, I enjoyed him a lot. Season 2, he had even a smaller role than season 1. But I also enjoy like the scenes that he appeared. Like he was still obsessed about Perrin. He still wanted to torture people. He was always like, he always had this expression like that like, he was always impeccably dressed, all white, always like on, and he read Padam Fane immediately. He immediately detected that Padam Fane was no good. So Child Halder had a wisdom, one could say, within him, and we are going to miss this. We are going to miss his evilness, his torturing ways, his misogyny, and
were there any positive traits about Child Valda that you like and miss?
He was a sharp dresser. He was a sharp dresser.
Exactly right. Dressed to impress. I love that a lot of guys his age would try to cover that with Just for Men. He's like, hey, if it's going to go gray, just let it go gray. He wasn't hiding it.
Powerful statement. He was one could say a courageous man.
Right. He had a white cloak and a white spot in his hair. Brilliant.
Yeah. And he was also humble. He was always like trying to make these Bornhold people see reason, right? So I feel that he was a streamlined character. They like in the show, they built the Bornholds a little bit up and Child Valda a little bit down.
Yep.
And I wanted the opposite, Okay, I think Daddy Bornhold, he actually was kind of hot.
Yeah.
Just
who in this show is not hot to you, Priscilla? I mean, come on.
Here we go.
A lot of people. He had some hotness in him, Father Bornhold. His son, however, he's such a loser. I really hate him. And now that he's an alcoholic, he's even more pathetic.
Well,
so Child Valda was there to try to put some, common sense. And common sense in the children of the light sense, it's actually trying to burn more women. But anyway, I mean, at least Child Valda was doing something, right?
Yes.
The Bornhold dude, he was just drinking himself and hating on Perrin. Child Valda was hating on Perrin and actually torturing people, women mostly. But I mean, he was doing stuff, So I wanted him to survive. I wanted him to do more. And instead, I got the happy family, Alanna, the two killer girls, the two killer Calton girls, and Maxine. They are now together. They really liked when the girls killed Child Valda. So like it was a bonding moment. So that's what happened to Child Valda. Child Valda just existed to be a bonding moment for Alanna to get her man back and to get two children. And I'm sorry, I cannot accept that.
Families do bond over bonfires. It's true. The whole idea of Child Valda always being on mission, I think, is the greatest compliment that I can give the man. Never off mission. Some compliment that I didn't expect to give him was his ability to see girls channeling. I want to see somebody explain that one away.
Wait a
minute. Nobody
weren't they kind of doing hand movements?
They were doing hand movements and nothing was happening. because Alanna wasn't getting healed. Remember, she was saying it's okay. Then he comes in and says, "Oh, you're channeling."
I mean, to me, it seems really quite simple. What's happening here is when the show needs a character to be able to sense somebody channeling, it makes it possible. It's supposed to be this big emotional moment for these kids to get revenge for their mom. And all I can think about is they're only following the rules when they want to.
I would say that, he was correct. How about this? He was correct as he died. He was like, wait a minute, you're channeling. Oh, hey, look at this. I'm on fire. I was right.
Yes, that's what I got, Bubba. It was his last hurrah.
Yeah.
It was
the last divination.
Moment. I was right. I was right. You were evil. Now you're going to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, I've said all I'm going to say about Child Valda.
No.
No, you have to say
but feel free to flow on if you wish for any last thoughts on Child Valda.
Well, was he which death do you think will, as book readers, and obviously I don't want you to spoil anything, but just kind of give a general vague. If, as you're giving me the vibe that Loial didn't die at this point in the book and Child Valda didn't die at this point in the book, which character's death will have a bigger impact on the story going forward, the fact that they're no longer here, in your opinion?
For me, Bubba, I think that depends on which characters you invest in as the story goes forward.
Okay.
Because they have different effects on different characters.
Okay.
Some in good ways and some not so good ways. So I think it really depends. I think for a book reader, that's kind of an evolutionary process. I think a lot of book readers are kind of relieved by some of the results of this episode.
Wow.
Because maybe it means there will be certain storylines that won't be portrayed. On the other hand, I'm saying, well, they can still do the storyline. They just won't have the character to do it, which to me would be a shame. Otherwise, I think it really does. It just matters on who you're invested in.
I mean, to me specifically, I'm afraid that without Valda, there is going to be a whitewashing of the White Cloaks.
Oh, I like that. Like that expression, even if I don't like that idea. Sure.
Yeah, because the Bornhole dude, he's kind of like a misguided guy that is hurting. He's so sensitive. He's hurting. And if things pan out as it is in the book, soon we are going to get another hurt boy, misguided, joining them.
Oh, no.
And they are not evil. They are just, confused. They're misguided.
Yep.
Child Valda, on the other hand, no, he was evil. He
always
was
on mission.
Always on mission. He was the face of evil to an evil organization. So he had to be there to represent. No, actually, like this bunch of dudes like wearing white and going prancing around, trying to torture women and like terrorizing people while they think they are actually saving them. I mean, otherwise it gets a little bit, they have good intentions, but they go around like, no, they're actually kind of evil if you come
Road to hell.
Yeah.
Paved with good intentions.
They just have a very it's almost like an excuse to perpetrate the crimes that they perpetrate. And Child Valda, he was so committed to it, And Bornhold is not. Bornhold is just a drunk boy.
Well, he could become one. Give him some time. He's young.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're trying to. Maybe this is the villain origin story of the Bornhold dude. Maybe he will be as deranged as Child Valda, but let's face it, Child Valda was 10 times better.
Deranged.
Yeah.
And
the Bornhold Junior, he's not only a drunk, he's boring.
Oh no.
He's like, have you seen his sense of style? He doesn't even wash his clothes. So
you know what? Sometimes
grunge. It's cool.
Women
He's just from
like
the
the
90s.
rugged look. Yeah.
and I have a feeling he will keep accusing Perrin. You killed my daddy. Blah blah blah. I mean,
What do you mean accusing? Like Perrin did kill his dad. Like
Yeah, of
that's
course.
like repeating the truth. You're like,
But
how
Bubba,
dare he complete? Yeah.
didn't you see that the Perrin apologized? Perrin said, "Sorry, boo, I killed your dad." And I was
Like you
that
think
makes everything
you think that minimal
Well-
apology? Oh, okay. He
that
just
makes everything better,
killed
right?
my dad with an axe, but he kind of said he was sorry months later.
That moment, I kind of think, come on, dude. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, but
you killed his
killed
father. Just
Copper.
like, yeah, he should have said, "Dude, your father killed my best friend." It's like, what? He killed the dog? Yes, my best friend. I meant it. You know.
This is well, I mean, it feels like I don't want to go too deep down the barnhole rabbit hole because I think that flies into what's going to happen next episode or next season. So maybe we should talk about and spin the wheel to find out, but the other character that we lost in Loial. In that Loial, I feel bad that I made a joke in last podcast about how Loial kind of didn't have anything to do this season. And
Well, he
in
didn't
a lot
until
of
he
ways,
died.
he didn't until he died. But once again, I thought that was an incredibly heroic death. I think it was a bit of a shock. Like if you had asked me in the middle of the episode, did I think Loial was going to be, leaving? I would have said no.
Right.
But then once he was in it, and as soon as he hits the arch and nothing happens with this hammer, it was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And even if he didn't have much to do this season, as a show watcher, this is a character that the show has made me have very warm feelings for. And so again,
Right.
I said it before, if you're going to die in a fantasy battle, this is like the perfect death. I mean, this is like, hey, I went out a hero. So good for him.
Here's where my heart sank. It's when he turned to Bane and Chiad and said, "This can only be done from the inside." That's when I knew that it was trouble.
That's when you knew.
That's when I knew that Loial was going to go. And I thought maybe they were going to kill Bane and Chiad too. I thought they might go on the inside too and try and defend him while he was trying to break it. But it turns out that they were defending his backside to keep anybody else from coming in on the other way. And but as soon as he said it has to be done from the inside, because what are all those Trollocs going to do once he breaks the gate? They're just going to kill him anyway.
I mean,
So
they are hinting of, if you come to think, they are hinting at Loial sacrificing himself for some episodes now, because when they come to the two rivers, he's already suffering from the
longing. Yeah.
From the longing.
Yeah.
And the whole episode, he's so down. He's like, he's very intentional on the things that he's doing in his episode. It's like he's almost already dying. And that's his last act to help the boys, kind of. That's the feeling that I got, because he planned the whole thing with the girls to get them to be released, right?
Of their toe, yep.
And it didn't pan out. And then he is the one like proactively going to Perrin and saying, "Hey, I should be doing this. Like otherwise, you're going to get overrun." And he's kind of setting the stage to his own demise. And my reading is that he was already dying because of the longing. And that's, if you point, that's what I think the show was trying to tell us eventually, because ever since he arrived at the Two Rivers, he has been kind of a known issue. And that's the bits of information that he got, that like he's suffering from the longing, and then he comes with this plan that we know what is going to happen as soon as we realize that he's trying to get rid of the girls, and that it has to be with the Waygate, that he's the only one who has the key, right? So
yeah. Well, it didn't really hit me until he said it has to be done from the inside, and I thought, wow. And he even, it's funny now when you look at it, because Perrin made him promise that he would go to a steading as soon and try and get healed from the longing. And he kind of agreed to it, but he didn't really like wholeheartedly agree to it, did he?
No, because he's already dying.
He was already too gone. Yeah.
Would you guys say,
I don't know why Rafe hates Ogier so much. I mean, those prosthetics look so good this year, better than they ever had. And now he's been trying to kill Loial all since the beginning.
It's true. What I would say is that there was like the answer to my question is never going to be answered. How it would work between Loial, Ben, and Chiad, like.
Oh, them being first sisters to him, or first, whatever.
How it would work, we will never know.
Yeah, we will never know. I will say this:
tale as old as time.
I will say this: the whole maiden
Beauty and the Beast, and a second beauty too. Loial and the Aiel.
We are -2 audience now.
So I'm going to say that the whole Maiden's Kiss thing, the way that was handled this particular episode, where they actually showed remorse and therefore saved us. If we go any further, it'll kill him, and they make up an excuse as to why they can't go ahead and go through with it. And that, of course, releases Chi out of her tow because she saved his life. But I love the way that Bane turned it around. Just speaking of Loial real quick, that some comments that the fact that Loial's book is unfinished was kind of a nod to RJ not being able to finish his series. Which makes me very sad, if that's what it was. I mean, that's the way some people are interpreting it. I didn't really at the time, but I can see why people would.
Just remind show watchers like me who aren't truly familiar with the details. Robert Jordan didn't finish his book series because he had
a blood disorder.
Oh
that,
no!
Ended up, and he wrote many notes for stuff that was to come.
Okay.
So it's not like Brandon Sanderson just went in and said, oh, okay, here's what we have so far, and I'm just going to start from here and go. No, he tried to finish the story as much as RJ had tried to map it out. But the initial thought was that he was going to be able to do it in like 1 or maybe 2 books. It ended up taking 3.
So, sorry, Brandon Sanderson did the final 3 books in the series?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Would you guys call Loial one of your top 10 favorite characters from the books?
Ooh.
He's just passed away.
You're talking about
10.
thousands of characters,
Man,
thousands of named characters.
The guy just died to save the 2 rivers, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if he'd make my top 10.
Well, you said from the books. You didn't say in the television show.
Throw him a bone. I mean, the poor guy's dead.
Yes. Yes.
See, that's the thank you, Priscilla.
Yes.
Top 11. What about you? I mean, as a TV show watcher, were you ever invested in Loial? Really?
Well, he never really had his own unique story. But like I said, the show did make me, a non-book reader, care about him, like him. When he showed up on screen, I wasn't like, oh, fast forward. It was like, oh, cool. This is good.
You can see Bubba. Bubba would miss half the television shows that he watches if he hit fast forward every time it was a character he wasn't into.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Here's Perrin.
Exactly. Okay. So let's talk more about the 2 rivers here.
Yeah.
I mean, battle, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not into battle stuff. I've never have liked it. I know that everybody says they want action, they want a big season finale, they want these big epic sets and everything. I'm like, Bubba, let me finish, dude.
No. They're no boy.
If you don't spend the time setting up the characters, there's no stakes to the battle at all. And what's the point of having it except just as some kind of visual explosion? I cannot stand that. I know many television shows that do that. This one isn't one of them, fortunately for us. But I'm just, I don't care to see Handmaiden number 3 stab Dark Friend number 2. Doesn't matter to me.
Mm.
Why?
Yeah, I think I disagree with that. I disagree with your own statement about yourself, Matt. This is going to sound odd, but you care about the two rivers, whether that's the show making you care about the two rivers or your knowledge from the book. As somebody who, is just watching this mainly, you care about that town. So yes, you don't have a connection to, townswoman number 2 with the bow, or townsperson number 5 with a blade, but you still care about the town. You still don't like the Trollocs. So even though that specific action beat, you're like, well, I don't care about her. No, but she represents the thing you do care about, the town. And I would say, even if you don't like action, I think you have to give it up that when you see that many people on screen fighting, that is a big production. This is something the show's trying to give you the scale of the battle for this town that theoretically you care about. And so I think you do have to give it up, even if I have a hard time believing that you would want to fast forward and, just tell me who lived and who died. I think you do want to see these people fighting for the town you care about. That's my
You know what my favorite battle in Game of Thrones was, Bubba?
Let's hear it.
The Golden Tooth in season 2. What happened? We saw some wolves
the
running,
heroes
and
won.
it was over.
The heroes won. That's what you cared about. Okay.
Right. But I didn't have to spend 50 minutes watching it happen. It was over in a scene.
How about this? Did you enjoy watching Child Valda burn? If the answer is yes, then you did enjoy the battle.
Who would enjoy seeing Child Valda burn? He's the hero this story needs.
Come on. If you enjoyed that moment, then you don't want to just skip to the end. And, the next morning, what's this crispy pile of ash? That's
Child Valda.
No, you wanted to see it. Come on. Priscilla, break the tie. How did you feel about the battle?
I think I'm like halfway between you and Matt. It's not my favorite thing, as I said several times over. But I think it has some meaning to see how people react when they are in a battle situation. I think dramatically speaking, you can tell a lot about a character or what a character does. So when the battle focuses on that, on the actions of the characters, on how they are interacting during an attack, I'm for it. It loses some sort of meaning to me when it extends too much in the gruesome parts, and I think in this battle they didn't extend it too much. So
what would you say was the most gruesome? What was the most gruesome part of this battle? Was it Alanna being hit with a brutal arrow? Was it the woman being hit with the arrows when she's right outside the back gate? What was the most gruesome part for you?
No, I mean, when you have the characters in close combat, for instance, like Egwene's mother, she was like stabbing a Trolloc several times. I think it was important to show like that this woman is fierce and that like she's protecting her city. And I think this kind of scene once or twice. You show once or twice. But I think some other series they reveal too much in the gore of it.
Okay. All I'm going to say is I certainly hope there's no one out there among our people who are watching or listening that says that it wasn't enough.
Well, I mean, there is the thought that, you guys maybe don't need so much action. I think if that's the part you fell in love with about the show, I don't think it's bad for anybody to say, I wanted even more.
Well, it's just, to me, Bubba, it's like you got plenty of action this episode. So if that's what you want, I don't see nothing is going to satisfy you if you're not satisfied by this, I think. On the other hand, it bores me because I know what the outcome's going to be.
Yeah, it bores you so much that you give it a 9.1 out of 10.
It's for child Valda.
Well, 8 of the 9.1 is for child Valda.
Well, I brought up Alanna. Do you guys want to go to this? This is the woman who
The holiest Aes Sedai in history.
I'm saying she takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
Man, she is a Timex, isn't she?
Right. She just attracts arrows to her. She's, she's like apparently wearing a bullseye on her.
Yeah, she's
because she keeps getting hit, man.
Tail of Wheel of Time. Yeah.
Well, she doesn't make it if it's not for Days Conger. Let's give Days her credit there. A girl who didn't want to give up drinking just so she could channel, but came out strong when it needed to be. It wasn't a perfect shield. Obviously, somebody got through it and got to her. But, if it's not for Days, Alanna doesn't make it out of that one. She doesn't even get to the girls to be not be able to be healed until after a sacrifice of Child Valda is made. And then the power can flow through and heal Alanna.
I want to say this about
Valda uniting families.
Yeah, exactly right. Bringing families together. I want to say this about Days. When she was with Alanna and they dropped what I assume was like sharp hail icicles to hit the Trollocs and kick ass. And afterwards, they have like a moment like, hey, we did it. I did want Days to take a swig from her flask. I wanted her to go, okay, this stuff is crazy. So I wanted the drunk to stay drunk. Give her some more liquor before she goes.
Hold the cup. Hold the line. You wanted to talk about Alanna, Bubba. What did you think about kind of? We've known that Maxim and Ivan and Alanna, we've seen it in episodes before, that they all had kind of a sexual thing. This seems like it grew a little bit this time around to me. It wasn't just a sexual thing, because Maxim was always there because he was actually in love with Ivan. And so
that was explicitly
it was mentioned a couple of times. So the whole idea that him and Alanna have found something new in each other in the absence of Ivan is encouraging, don't you think?
I thought so. I thought the camaraderie, or I'm using the wrong word, the fact that they kind of came to each other after the battle was kind of decided. I thought that was a touching moment. There have been times when I've even said it on this podcast when I've been wondering, why are we following these two? But at the end of the season, I guess they're part of the group I'm happy to see, and I was rooting for them to win. So, Alanna, you've convinced me, and you're building up your child army. And so I love seeing children get to work. So good work, Alanna.
My problem with this is that we see this story all the time. A couple is having problems, and what they do to fix the problem, they have a baby. And then they add more problems, and then they have a second one to try to fix it, and it never works. So in this case, they adopted 2 children, and now they are together forever. Now they are a happy family after the sacrifice. let's call Child Valda's murder sacrifice for that. So after Valda's sacrifice to bring this family together, they kind of like decided that it's the right way to do now. It's that they are going to, as Bubba say, be the happy parents of a child army. So the assumption is that they are going to collect more, right? That's what I'm assuming.
As many as they can.
Yeah. So they are going to be the Von Trapps, the family Von Trapp of the Wheel of Time now. Why is that the way that Rafe
and a special episode of 8 is enough?
Is that how Rafe found a way to substitute Alanna's terrible future in the series? Is that the trade-off that we are getting? If that's the trade-off we are getting, like each season they are going to collect a couple more of orphans, okay. I kind of like it, actually. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's completely out of,
And
but
see, you started off having a problem with it, and now
this
it's all
is
good.
no, that's a fantasy series. It doesn't have to make sense to me. I just have to accept it. And now I'm accepting they are happy. The children are taken care of. Everything is going to be all right. They are preparing for the last battle. Yeah, cool. I'm cool with it.
Everybody like the song?
Which song?
Come on, the song.
I didn't have an emotional connection to it, so I kind of assumed that the book readers did when they were weren't they kind of beating their chest as they sang?
Yeah.
Yes, and we heard the kids sing the song on the road in the second episode of the series.
That's true.
It's the same song. Sing for Manetherin.
Sing it, Matt.
That's all I got.
Is this a singing episode? Like we had about singing twice already?
It's not a special musical episode like we had in Tenchico, but it's close.
Okay.
I didn't know Marcus had such dulcet tones when he started that thing off this time.
He's a very talented actor, I have to say. I really like
that has nothing to do with the ability to sing.
No, I'm just saying that his silences and the way he's very sweet with Fail and everything. He has been growing on me, I think.
Now, Bubba, this won't matter to you yet, but it will, I think.
Okay.
The argument that him and Fail had. Be prepared for a few of those. That's all I'm going to say. And their chemistry is so fiery. Well, this is all assuming that Perrin doesn't get, sacrificed by Bornhold for the White Cloak's justice. Perrin left her at the altar. Oh, no. I've got my own kind of Two Rivers toe to pay now. So I'm going to leave you behind. Have a nice life, Fail. I'm off to meet the child's Valda's justice. Except Child Valda's not there.
Yeah. If you want to make everything about Child Valda, one could say that Perrin, he felt so guilty about what happened to Child Valda that he
turned himself in.
Yeah.
That works for me.
I've seen a lot of people online talking about how they were happy that the town had like a wolf banner and they were calling him Lord. And so your
Lord Perrin
Lord
Goldeneyes.
Yeah. I mean, your Lord going away to face the music. I think that's a strong ending for him. What did you guys have a favorite moment besides Perrin telling Fail, kill the ones I don't kill? Was there anything else in Perrin's journey to be Lord Perrin that you especially loved?
Kind of dropped in his lap, really. To me, that points to the fact that, as Pat and Fane mentioned at the end of season 1, these kids are all Ta'Viren. They make waves in the pattern, whether they mean to or not, And so, if it's anybody but Perrin saying we've got to fight the Trollocs, do they do it? If he in that town hall meeting a few episodes ago, that's out in the street when people are starting to go back home, if it's not him who says no, you can't go back home, we've got to figure out how to fight this. Everybody probably leaves and gets murdered individually.
I mean, in terms of charisma, what do you have in Two Rivers? Sembuli. So it's Perrin, dude. Perrin takes the cake there. Like he's a better man than many, I would say.
Well, it's amazing to me about how Ela, the mother to Tuatha'an, or the grandmother to Tuatha'an, was so against all of the battle stuff. Naturally, she's Tuatha'an. Give peace a chance. But yet she was willing to be part of the escape plan. Now, I would have thought that Tuatha'an would have just said, thank you very much for the water. We'll just go on our way.
Really?
And then Aram ends up basically becoming the Luwin that we saw in episode 4. Not he had to keep the Trolloc from killing the baby, and he didn't even really make an effort to stab the Trolloc. He just kind of held that weapon out there, and the Trolloc fell on it or jumped onto it. But here he is. But if Perrin is captured, who's going to teach Aram how to be a blacksmith? I mean, the most he knows how to fix is a couple pots here and there, right? Right now. He's going to have to.
I'm sure there are books. I'm sure there are books.
Well, there's the book Loial left, but that's not going to help him at all. Well, hold on.
Sin Bui, the hero we deserve.
Sin Bui.
The hero he is the epitome of the reluctant hero. He is Luke Skywalker.
For sure.
You hold the line, Maxim.
Well, I'm also not sure that Luke Skywalker ever talked so much trash as this guy talked. This guy was great talking trash.
He was good at talking trash. Sin Bui is a character that is a favorite in the books to hate.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, they did him really well. Maybe they didn't do him really well because I actually liked Sin Bui by the end of the episode.
Oh, good.
I don't know.
I didn't have any thought other than this is a fun, crusty old villager. So I like him.
Yeah, that's good enough. He got his acknowledgement that way. What you got? What else you got, Bubba? You said you had something else. Sorry.
Well, I think we haven't talked about possibly probably the most controversial thing in the episode. I mean, I kind of made some jokes. People have kind of talked about it. But Padan Fain, letting him walk away. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. This guy is a dark friend. He's obeying the Dark One. The Dark One told him, if I comprehend the show, the Dark One told him, hey, destroy this town because it'll upset the Dragon Reborn, a.k.a. Rand. And Padan Fain, I know he's afraid of death, and Perrin was about to kill him, but isn't there a good chance that if he doesn't destroy the two rivers like the Dark One told him to, that the Dark One would kill him? And so I was a bit shocked that Padan Fain survived and was able to walk away. That was the one moment that felt a bit TV-esque. It was the end of the battle, and of course we want the battle to end, but let me say that it is it was a shock, I guess is I'm trying to get across. What did you guys think
I think that's
about
the point.
Perrin not killing Padan Fain like he probably should have?
Bubba, did you get the feeling that when Perrin made that deal, that he felt like that if he didn't make that deal, they were going to lose? Because I think that's what you were supposed to feel, but I don't know if everybody felt that or not.
Well, it definitely.
I felt that.
I didn't feel that. I felt like it was going to be a draw. Like I felt you couldn't, based on the way I saw it, you couldn't tell at that moment who would win or who would lose. And so,
I mean, if the battle would drag, more people from their side will die. They could actually win, but what he wanted to avoid was more people dying.
So many people die.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I understood. Like, but it was kind of the deal. You take this deal now or never.
Okay. All right.
Makes sense. I didn't really feel about it one way or the other than what Bubba said. It's like, you know, you're going to kill such a wonderful character like Child Valda, but you're going to let Padan Fain, a guy who comes in once a season and twists his mustache and runs off, you're going to let him live?
Yeah, sure.
That doesn't work for me either, Bubba. It doesn't work for me. I'll save the rest of it for book stuff, but I just come in, make an appearance for an episode and a half, and then disappear off into the sunset again.
Well,
I mean,
how about
their hold is so terrible that Child Valda tried to warn him about this guy, and he made a pact. He had an agreement with.
Well, Bornhold was drunk,
Perrin.
So he didn't even know what he was ordering.
No, he agreed with Perrin that they would help. Perrin would turn himself in, and what the help their Bornhold offers the two rivers. He brings Padan Fain inside.
Inside the gate. Oh,
And then Perry turns himself in because they honor the agreement. This I didn't get it. This I had more problems with than the Pad and Fane.
Clearly, Bornhold has better lawyers than Perrin does.
I think Bornhold has the greatest lawyer ever for Perrin to decide that. Or Fayu is very bad in,
But it was the honorable thing. That's the thing that you take away from this. And I do want to ask another question of you guys.
sure.
So this is the last of the Two Rivers storyline for this season?
Yeah.
I would assume so. I don't
Yes, so.
assume we're going to see it.
So you're going to
all.
leave a cliffhanger of what they're going to do about Perrin, huh?
Yes.
Well, it's not. Yes, it's a cliffhanger, but isn't it really, the way I interpret it, I haven't read the books, is that it's pretty much the way to set up the story he's going to go on next season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And
because I don't know what
all.
they're going to do. I know the way that story ends, and I don't know if they have plans to do that now or later. That's the thing. So I don't know. I just thought I'd ask the question as to what your guys' impressions were. Rafe, when in the inside the episode, him and Marcus Rutherford were talking, they definitely made it seem like that episode 7 would be the last we'd see of Perrin's character or any of those characters. Anything else about the Two Rivers? What we got? Anything?
I think we spoke about everything.
We talk about
right?
it pretty much. Okay.
Yeah.
Long live Child Valda.
Yes.
Bubba has questions.
Bubba has
rest
questions.
in power.
Actually, it's Bubba has statements. He no longer asks questions anymore. He just makes statements and then accuses us of spoiling him, even when we try to just apply show logic.
I have questions that are sometimes what you would call rhetorical questions that I don't want to answer to because I fear you guys know an answer. But this one you guys can answer since you love answering my questions. I want to know, as somebody who's only read the first 2 books, how deep into the books have we gotten? Like, have we seen storylines from the 6th book, the 7th book, or just the 4th and 5th book? Like, how deep?
The answer is yes.
Yes, past the 5th book. So we've seen storylines.
I didn't say that. I said the answer is yes.
Okay, well, my question is, have storylines from the 6th book appeared?
Placement.
In the show?
Okay, this is a weird one to Bubba. They've placed certain characters in positions that they are in different locations in later books.
Okay.
But they've placed them into the storyline of the current book that they're covering. So that's the best I can say. Matt, I'll just say this. Matt being with Elayne and Nynaeve. Matt was not with Elayne and Nynaeve in Tanchico. He was with Elayne and Nynaeve when they were on another adventure, beginning in book 6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Going through book 7.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So that's why I'm saying the answer is yes. They've done all of it.
Well, that's great. Okay, here's another question, and maybe this one's more rhetorical because I'm kind of asking it of myself. When Dane Bornhold was introduced in season 2, he was introduced almost as like, yes, he's a white cloak, but he seems like an okay guy. Like Perrin and he kind of got along. When it comes to Aiel. Sure. But he and Perrin got along okay. Then obviously a little accidental murder of his dad happened and a little too much liquor happened. And so now he's become, really on the wrong side of everything, even though in this episode he kind of sort of helped. He did help, right? And so the question is that with a character like this in a typical story, Dane's is one of redemption, is one of okay, yes, I was helped the villains an awful lot and I was doing stupid stuff, but it's of redemption. And so it's either that and hey, I redeem myself and then I help the hero save the day, or I see the light right at the end and I do something heroic as I die. This goes back in storylines, hundreds of years. for whatever reason, the first one I'm thinking of is the movie from, I believe, the 50s, The Bridge Over the River Kwai. And so it's a rhetorical question. Can Dane, considering he burned a woman alive, can he be redeemed? How about this? For next week, this is a prediction, so I guess it is technically a statement. I earlier this season predicted there's no way that Moiraine is good. I didn't see Moiraine dying this season. And I have to be honest, I still don't.
Okay.
Now, the preview implies that there are going to be some showdowns, and this is my prediction, so therefore I guess it is a statement. I don't see Moiraine, the character, dying in the final episode of season 3. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't either. But that's what I'm predicting.
I don't either.
Okay, so those are my questions. Hopefully, and my statements. Hopefully you enjoyed them.
Yeah. Submit your thoughts to the word double, the letters PHQ across social media. Tell Bubba he asks very interesting statements. We're not going to do Fireweave of the Week. Priscilla has forbidden it.
Okay.
Needless to say, all of our Fireweaves of the Week would have been Child Valda.
Oh.
Instead, we're going to do musical analysis.
Yay.
Hey, battle music doesn't suck. Skip ahead about 3 minutes if you don't like music.
Hey, did you all notice the fact that when Loial broke the bridge or broke the doorway or whatever you want to call it, when he put the hammer down, we heard the Heroes of the Horn theme. Just a reminder, it sounds like this. Was that purposeful? Will we see Loial again sometime as a hero of the horn? Just food for thought there. The other thing, and I'm not going to break anything down this time around, I just wanted to point out that the Aiel theme was used a lot during the fighting, especially, of course, when there are scenes with Bane and Chiad taking care of business. And just a reminder, that theme sounds like this. And that's it for musical analysis.
And instead of Fireweave of the Week, we're instead going to do 3 words, which is something we haven't done here. This is where you try to describe the episode in 3 words. I've been doing this for 16 years. About to finish doing it. But
wow.
This will probably be the final time I ever do it for Busted Blockbusters, for sure. Priscilla, can you describe this episode in 3 words?
Rest in power.
Child Valda.
Oh.
In parentheses,
big,
don't
big
count
heart,
as words.
yeah.
With a big heart. Yes. Okay. Excellent. Bubba,
and a tear dropping.
Oh. My 3 little words for this episode are Padden's a bee, because he ran with his tail between his legs like a little bee, whereas my buddy Pierce likes to say, like a GDB. And so goodbye, Padden. You're a bee.
Yeah, I got a feeling that Padden fears death so much because he knows something. But I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
We got this is the most response I've gotten on anything in Buster and Blockbusters for a single question. And it's because all of my fellow Watskis responded to me when I just put a question out on Blue Sky. And also it looks like a couple of people from somewhere else. No, maybe just all Blue Sky. Anyway, here's some beautiful ones. Tirtha Mind on Blue Sky says, actually convincing romance. Like it. Yeah, I thought the Perrin and Fael thing was very good. Sherbet Mango says, sing of Manetheren. Excellent. Beth Howard, who's at June-6-Bug. June 6 Bug. The Old Blood. Excellent. That's all the stuff that Perrin is from. BJ, Nerd Singer Beach, says, what the bleep? And reading the pattern. Now, this is Rebecca. She's actually does a lot of content regarding Wheel of Time. Weep for Manetheren, the song name, the official song name. Excellent. Arosa who always actually contributes on YouTube sometimes as well. Respect and honor. Excellent. Helen says balanced, satisfying, heartbreaking. Excellent
Yes.
adjectives there.
100%.
Materials Dan. Hometown sacrifice legacy. Ooh. Yeah. The Keeper's bloody staff. Leanne's bloody staff. I love that. Which is Bren. It says, as my husband shouted at a particular moment, they burned him. Yes. And let's see. Brian, who is W. Brian Lane on Blue Sky. No, you surrender. And Aurora B, who is Aurora B is me, who's a great YouTube reactor, actually responded to this. Love Aurora B's reactions. Be sure to check them out because they're really insightful, especially regarding the Wheel of Time. For someone who hasn't read the books, at least I don't think she has. An overdue barbecue. Woo!
Oh,
Wow.
Priscilla, your boy is taking it on the chin.
Taking it on the chin, yeah.
Yeah, even dying, he gave us so much.
Oh, we've got feedback too, so let's go ahead and get into that. Bubba, you put a tweet out, right?
Yeah, I said, hey, people, what did you think of this episode 7 of season 3, Goldeneyes? Joanne said, brilliant episode. MEG said, the best episode so far in season 3. Emmy, I prefer the 4th episode of season 3, but hey, I'm loving you loved it. Safety not guaranteed. Gave the episode 10 out of 10, higher than any of us rated it. He hates, with a handle like that, you could probably guess that. What did he think of the episode? He wrote, kind of meh. Chelsea also wasn't exactly happy. She said the episode was ordinary, and Fael is getting on my goat. Not a good.
And
now,
stabbing it.
Yeah. Chris H said, I thought the episode was great. And then Mario wrote, Loial.
Oh, with a bunch of crying emojis.
Yep.
Oh. Sorry, Mario. Oh, that's too bad. We've got some YouTube feedback from last week's podcast as well. This is from Chris DeVillier. Ishamael has been appearing in people's dreams since season 1, Bubba.
Oh, yeah.
Brand plus team, all of their dreams, even before he was released from his seal. The Leandrin sequence is not out of the blue. It was kind of out of the blue, just because you wouldn't have expected it. I don't think anybody went into that episode expecting to see Ishamael. So that's kind of out of the blue. Chris, on the other hand,
Chris,
Bubba,
hold on. Sorry, Chris, I made what I thought was a natural assumption. In season 1, when these visions of like somebody on fire were appearing in our heroes' dreams, I thought that was the dark one, not Ishamael appearing in their dreams. So I guess I never put 2 and 2 together.
Let me explain to you what you missed in the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Ishamael appeared with that fiery eye face. Rand put a spear through it. He just made it go away, and his face was there. He was the dude with the fire eyes the whole time.
Yeah, it didn't read to me that way.
Okay.
But that's, my own missing.
And then Moiraine told us at the beginning of season 2, we didn't fight the Dark One. We fought Ishamael.
Right. And so I thought, well, they fought Ishamael in episode 8, not that they were fighting, that he was the same person that was attacking them.
I guess the telltale scene was the fiery eyes, and then when he ran through the spear at him or his sword at him, and he just kind of pushed it all in, and it all went away, and it was Ishamael, was the big tell. Which I should have pointed out to you. I'm sorry. That was my bad. Priscilla wasn't around here during season 1, or she would have pointed it out to you for sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Priscilla.
Shore Risings, who I love, says for episode 6, I give it an 8.5. Guess for me, this episode is a triple M.
What? Triple M?
Triple M and an L, actually.
Oh.
Mo Gideon makes memory loss. Yeah. It's my favorite episode after episode 4 until now. I love Coach Trolloc. Oh, Coach will be happy to hear that.
Wow. Yeah.
He's exactly what we needed. Coach T, by the way, are you a book reader? He is. He lives the books. What are you talking about? He is the books. Would you like to see a Drakkar or is the Fade in the show a good hybridization of a Fade and a Drakkar? I'm sure that Coach loves things with wings. So there you go. Rand cut Ishamael off from the Dark One. The show did the same thing as the end of book 1 when, and Bubba, you've read this, Agonar is cut off from Rand, like the Black Cable from the Dark One. Okay. As a book reader, I have enjoyed lots of scenes, and Mogi was played very well, and I am very thrilled about that. Otherwise, your arguments from the analysis are very good. Some things missing. I didn't even realize Aviendha was channeling. Everything was happening so fast. Like the Forsaken was gone in a few seconds, like garbage thrown out. Don't worry, Sammy will be back. Yeah.
Taking out the trash.
Yeah. Sammy will be back. Yeah, if lanfear can come back from getting her throat cut and stabbed through the heart, I'm pretty sure that Sammy will be back. More bird Trollocs. Oh, we love bird Trollocs, don't we? All us book readers, we love bird Trollocs. Addressing the opinions of Rand versus Egwene. I think some of it is book accurate in the sense that he develops a terrible temper over time, obviously, partly from using the power and the consequences, and partly from trauma, I believe. Also, my pet theory is that the conversation with Moiraine earlier in the episode is significant because I believe he may deliberately push Egwene away to protect her, as he does over and over in the books, or as he does over and over in the books for different characters. I guess I am biased as a long-term Rand stan. Shame on you. I can't help it, but I always try and assume the best, as his heart of hearts is good.
Thank you, bird Trollocs. We love Rand fans.
Yeah, we love Rand fans. We just don't love Rand.
Hey,
Miss Randy, who is Zero Miss Randy, says, I know why no one can sense or see a Forsaken's weaves, assuming the show will address it eventually. Yeah, hope so. We'll see. Sorry. Didn't mean to sound quite so negative there, but I hope that you're correct, Miss Randy. Caroline, who is Carl Joso on YouTube, says, woo, welcome, Coach, to the Watt Trio. Hope Matt is feeling better soon. Obviously, I am. I actually am Coach Trolloc.
What?
Well, can't you see the resemblance? What? Can't you see the resemblance?
That was a reveal.
That's a reveal, Matt. Book spoiler.
No, I thought you would reveal yourself in the last episode.
No, you gotta do it in the penultimate, baby. That's when Ned's head gets chopped off.
Spoilers.
Come on, it was 15 years ago, Bubba. I also like the idea about it being Rand, who is making lanfear more like Egwene instead of her being the one exerting the power. Rand does have a type. Yeah. Nope. I am going to take fifth for Elayne, my fifth for Elayne, realizing what the song was really about and then tossing her hair over the shoulder to show off her hills. Oh.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. I am looking forward to seeing the battle next week and your reactions to the breakdown of the episode. And so you have. I will watch it, not on my computer, to see if I enjoy the night scenes more. Thanks for the suggestion.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Carolina.
Compression sucks. But I did it on purpose this time. I did it on purpose. I wanted to hide myself from bad Trolloc CGI. Well, a couple more here. Inner 11454 says, I sure hope the people who make television shows aren't listening to this. Something happening out of the blue is good for TV shows. I don't necessarily disagree there, but when it confuses me, I don't like it. You don't have to tease every darn thing before it happens. Holding back information and surprising displays of power are a big part of the books. It's nice to not know what is going to happen all the time. Aviendha doesn't want to be a wise one. She just wants to be a maiden of the spear. She's been hiding the fact that she can channel because she doesn't want it to define her. Okay. This isn't bad TV. It's good writing. As for Rand, we keep being told he's more powerful than anyone else. Logain is amazed at how much power he can hold after seeing Nynaeve on full display. Moiraine is asking him advice on how he can hold so much power when she tries to use the Sakarnan. They went out of their way to say Samuel is the weakest of the Forsaken when he is introduced. This shouldn't have been a surprise. Well, I think it was a surprise that he showed up, but no, it's not a surprise that Rand beat him.
Can I respond to Enter? I think there's a lot of that I agree with. And I guess what's interesting, and I love this feedback, Enter, is that I think I would have agreed with it. You know, you wrote this sentence. Aviendha just wants to be a maiden of the spear, and she's been hiding that she can channel because she doesn't want it to define her.
All they had to do was say that.
Yeah, I'm saying I think if that had been part of the show, I would have come around to enjoying that. But because that wasn't it, and it did feel to me like it came out of the blue, that's why I said I didn't like it. But Enter, great feedback. Keep giving us feedback.
Yeah, keep giving us feedback. Like Zephyr Cat 7, who offers this final bit of feedback, something that we'd never asked for, but nonetheless. You asked what I thought about Coach's singing. Actually, Coach asked what you thought of his singing. I'll say he's much better than me, but he doesn't hold a candle to Matt's Barry White vibes. Eric with an A, Eric with an E.
Oh, wow. That's a callback there.
Yeah, that's a callback to the Before the Dragon podcast where I covered, season 2 of House of the Dragon. Yeah, lovely. No comment. So thank you very much, Zephyr Cat. I appreciate that.
Oh, hey, wait a second. One last email from Carolina regarding episode 7, which came in after we recorded, but before I released. It says, "Hello, trio. Hope everyone is feeling great, or at least better. Watching the episode on TV did help with the night shots. Thanks for the suggestion. I thought the episode did not disappoint with the battle for Two Rivers. I was truly invested in which choices each of the characters were making and how that leads us while enjoying the battle choreographed before me. I am invested. I would give this episode a 9 out of 10 triple Bs. Triple Bs, Carolina. It's for Burn, Butcher, Burn. Ooh. The immolation of Pat and Fane was justified. To use two other great TV show words, The Witcher and Justified. I would also call the scene my favorite burn of the week, for obvious reasons. I would take the 5th for the fantastic scene between Loial, Bane, and Chiad playing the Bane's Kiss game. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts and pondering the turning of the wheel of time. I am sure that Perrin's mercy will not be rewarded. Thanks all. And thanks for your thoughts, Carolina. Great choices and great thoughts as always.
That is it, as far as I can tell. Any other responses or anything to any of the feedback before we say goodbye to our non-book reading fans?
Well, I think a lot of people have noted that Coach T has sung, Matt has sung, obviously in this podcast I have sung, but there's one person, one host who is yet to sing.
Oh,
You know who. Let's hear it, Priscilla. Let's hear a tune. Let's hear
do the Sing for
Amazing
Manetheren.
Grace. Sing Amazing Grace for our boy, R.I.P. Child Valda.
I don't know. You're putting me on the spot. You're putting baby on the corner.
He once was not flammable, but now he's ash. He was lost, but now he's vacuumed up.
Okay,
Priscilla,
that was
1,
lovely.
2, 3, 1, ready, go.
I can only sing. I can sing a song that has meaning to my life
Let's hear it.
because I have terrible memories. So basically, like in Brazil, and especially where I come from Rio de Janeiro, like we have carnival.
Is this a nursery rhyme song?
But actually, we have these very silly songs that we sing while we are like parading
Naked and
ourselves,
dancing,
like we are walking. Yeah, basically, like there is like blocos de rua, so it's like block parties, like that. It keeps moving. So I used to sing this marchinha all the time to my husband, and he was learning Portuguese. So he always would give me money afterwards. So it was very funny. He thought that I created he thought that I was like singing to him, that I was asking him money, because the song is like, "Ei,
Give me your money.
você aí, me dá dinheiro aí, me dá dinheiro aí, tá, 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 tá. Hey, Você aí, me dá dinheiro aí, me dá dinheiro aí. It's basically like, hey you, give me some money. So I would just keep singing. And then he would come and he would give me money. And he thought that I created a song to ask for money. So it was
Smart.
yeah, it was
I
smart.
mean, I would have used that money for good things.
And I would always take it. And I was like, oh, that's such a nice boyfriend I have. He keeps giving me the money. It's ridiculous.
Folks, we've got one episode left of Wheel of Time. Probably one more time for Priscilla to sing that song, too. We've got one episode left of Bustin' Blockbusters. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write and tell me how wrong I am about everything over and over and over again this week. You can do so by finding me on Blue Sky, matthew.murdoch.bsky.social. You can also find Double P Media. Don't tell Bubba that he's wrong. Tell Bubba that I'm wrong. Okay? At the word double, the letters PHQ. Any social media, Threads, Instagram. I don't need Hive. Are you still on Hive? If it exists, Double PHQ is there. So reach out to them.
You said OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, right? Yeah.
Double PHQ or hello at doublepmedia.com. That's the word double, the letter P, the word media.com. Or use that exact same spelling for the YouTube channel and leave comments on our videos like this one. The second to the last time you'll ever have to see my face. Yeah, leave comments below. YouTube.com/at the word double, the letter P, the word media. And if you want to ask Priscilla how the heck she's gone all these years putting up with me, then find her YouTube channel and ask her there. So that is at Priscilla TV1 on YouTube. Bubba, thank you so much for joining us. Go enjoy all of your social media on the Double PHQ social media accounts.
Excellent. You guys dive into those delicious spoilers. I'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Man, what are they doing?
What?
They didn't even give us Slayer.
Maybe next week. No, next week we are not going to see Slayer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Which actually kind of panned out for my bingo card because I said we would not see Slayer, but we would see Lord Luke.
Yeah, Lord Luke, what? He appeared just one scene, right? And now another one. So
yeah, he showed up. He showed up with Fael at first, and then he was kind of the go-between for the White Cloaks and Perrin.
Yeah, but then if assuming we get a season 4, then Lord Luke will be with the White Cloaks torturing Perrin. Possibly.
But a Slayer?
Torturing Perrin in his dreams?
Okay. Maybe. Wasn't Fael's mom just the girl that's named started with CH, whose name I can't pronounce, Shane? Just your average dark friend. Blew my theory all the heck.
I feel like if the series had 10 episodes, we would see a little bit of the Dark Friends army, like a little bit of who they are and
I got a feeling
how they work.
That as long as these episodes have been this season, there's still been an awful lot that's been left on the cutting room floor. You know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
Yeah. I'll say this about Fane. Kill the guy. If you're not going to do the Shatter Logoth connection, kill him. Get rid of him. This was Rafe, can you just not figure out what you want to do with him yet? Is that why you just keep dangling him in there so we won't forget him? So he comes in and he twists his mustache and then he gets to leave again? Figure out what you're going to do with him and do it. That's my only complaint against Rafe as far as characters go, really. I don't even mind him killing Loial, which he didn't. Wow. Loial's going to reach out and grab a cliff.
Wow. So you don't like Loial? Is that what you're telling?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't mind that he got killed because he didn't get killed.
I
He's
think
just
he
forever
got killed.
falling. He's double F, forever falling.
I think he dead. He dead. He gone.
Well, he could starve to death, but you know,
No,
As-
he died from inside. He's already dead.
the longing will
He's-
probably get him.
Yeah, he's
Unless he grabs a
depressed.
hold of a little island as he's falling, forever falling.
No,
No.
he's forever dead.
Oh my.
Yeah, but Padden Fane. I mean, I'm trying to think who is going to be in Perry's storyline. So Lord Luke, the White Cloaks, and Padden Fane again. So they are going to, but without the fight in the two rivers. So it will be like what? Perrin running away
Pat and
from
Fane's not going to be with him because Perrin
no,
already ratted him out to Bornhold.
no, but Padden Fane will do something.
I don't know what. Perrin told him to get the heck out of Dodge. I think he's scrambling over the hills and not coming back.
Where will Padden Fane go? He cannot hide from the Dark One.
No, he can't. But he's not certainly not going to show up with Bornhold.
The way Bornhold is drunk, he might forget.
Bornhold said, I didn't know. I didn't know. That's what he said to Perrin.
He might even forget. He's
I
like,
was drunk. I didn't know. Oh, I blacked out. I'm sorry.
yeah. He was like, who are you again?
Well, why do we have you handcuffed? Why? What'd you do?
And he does not have Child Valda to tell him. Yeah.
Well, he might just be a puddle, and Perrin might just get to walk away simply because there's nothing left of Bornhold after he drinks himself to death.
Okay, Galad and Gawain. We just saw them two scenes. I think they're going to help Swan escape. But do you think the White Cloaks are going to take a new member?
You think that Galad's going to end up with the White Cloaks right away?
I
don't think he does until season 4, but that's just me.
Well, he's already kind of having drinks with the White Cloaks at this point, right? The White Cloaks somehow are hanging out in Tarvalon of all places, and they are having drinks, and he is taking the red pill by them. So maybe he goes on a trip trying to find Elayne. And he meets Bornhold, have some drinks. They get together.
Maybe.
And we are going to have the second misguided poor boy joining the Children of the Light, which is the problem that I already spoke about it. But yeah, Padden Fane, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I can see he popping up for a couple of episodes to do something stupid and then disappearing. It's like the Joker, right? So every time you don't know which villain you're going to use, you just grab Padden Fane and put it there.
Yeah.
Maybe he will align himself to another Forsaken. I don't know.
I just don't see how they're going to invest me in Gawain and Galad enough to split them up this time around.
I don't like them. I don't care about them.
Well, nobody does, except for John from What Up. We love you, John.
I think he just says that to annoy people, honestly. Nobody can possibly like these characters.
He's not trolling you. He's serious.
This is not possible. This is physically not possible. Honestly. Did you see the preview for the next episode?
No, I actually didn't. I didn't watch it. I even skipped over it when I watched the Inside the episode.
Ah, you're avoiding. Okay.
Yeah.
Strong scenes. Strong scenes.
Yeah. I do remember seeing a screenshot on social media of a really purplish looking weave and somebody asking if that was balefire. And it looked like it was Tom and Elayne in the shot.
Yeah, everybody's asking themselves if it's
Is that balefire? Yeah. Well,
Everybody's
Moghedien
like-
is certainly capable of it. She tries using it on Nynaeve a few times.
Apparently, it was not Moghedien. It was the Jane, the dark friend, the Black Azure dude.
Really? She's capable of balefire? How would she even know about it?
I think it is. I think that I watched Amber. Amber was saying it was Jane.
Really? Okay. Well, okay. This is new. I'm cool with that. I mean,
But-
I want him to explain how she learned it, because it's something that's supposed to be that only the Forsaken and Rand really kind of know, right?
Yeah, that's true.
No,
Because it is some sort of like that it was forbidden, right?
yeah,
Because it messes up with the pattern and stuff. But some
yeah, because
but this-
what balefire does is it completely erases you from the pattern, and so
Yeah.
everything you ever touched in the pattern gets undone. Like that's how Aviendha and Matt come back to life after Rand balefires Robin, because they're dead there. And then he goes into Teleron Riad and he balefires Robin, and that erases it. And so Matt and Aviendha are suddenly alive again.
we know Raven is sending people to kill Elayne, right? So
Is it Robin who's doing it?
yeah,
Okay.
isn't it?
I mean, it must be. It's the only logical explanation. But
Yeah, I mean,
I don't-
Raven and Moghedien were kind of together. We don't
Okay.
know if each one was trying to compose each other. We didn't realize, but like that's what I assume, that Moghedien is doing the Gray Man and sending to do Raven's stuff.
Yeah.
So is it possible that Moghedien is actually puppeteering Jane at some point? She already
Well, I mean, there is the stuff in the books where Moghedien puts all of those Black Ajes under compulsion.
Yeah, so that's what I meant.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. I it's a good possibility. I honestly don't know what they're going to do there.
Yeah, she's just doing like kamikaze stuff with the Dark Friends, Black Azure people.
Yeah.
To get Elayne out of the way. What I don't know is how the heck would Tom recognize what is happening. Because from the shots, he looks much more alarmed than Elayne. I mean, you can recognize an attack.
Like I said, the rules of magic are very convenient when they have to be convenient.
In their defense, you can recognize an attack is coming when an attack is coming. And a man like as experienced as him, they would. But anyway.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I don't know.
Let me address this email real quick from Carolina, because this is something you can talk about for sure. As I've been digesting YouTubes about this episode, some have mentioned Matt's in-book luck. We saw it personified when the Tanchikan man who happened to find the bracelet that Matt was looking for.
Yes.
So, from listening to spoilers, the horn's ownership can easily be transferred by killing its previous blower. My question is, will Matt's luck hold long enough for him not to get killed by another horn hunter? It's deep into spoilers. I am sure the books get to that, but will the show? Will they go full Deadpool and show us how the luck is a superpower? I actually answered this email back already, but I will say here for the sake of the podcast, Matt's in book luck is real. It starts really surfacing about book 3. So this is about the time that you start to see all of the, book 3, book 4. And it's something that stays with him all the way up through the end of his storyline. That's all I'm going to tell you. Yeah. Luck's with the boy. He's Ta'veren. That's his Ta'veren power. And it will be with him. Helps him everywhere. Do you like the way they've done the luck so far? I mean, I don't even know that I caught that in episode 6. To be perfectly honest, that it was Matt's luck that was making the guy show up with the bracelet.
Yeah, these little coincidences, right?
Yeah, guess so. I mean, I'm certainly for it. Not against it at all. All good.
I don't think it has been addressed. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Has it been addressed?
Directly, yeah.
Because in the books it's pretty like it's pretty like
In the books it's very blatant. Here they're being much
like,
more subtle with it. Yeah.
oh my
you're
God,
right.
did you just see like he starts dicing it and people kind of think that he's cheating, but he's not, and
Right.
he plays with all the other people's dice and it's the same. But here I didn't see it. I think they should make this a little bit more clear, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's clear enough for book readers to pick up on it, maybe the show just doesn't want show watchers to pick up on it yet. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Maybe that'll be the big twist and turn when Matt's hanging from a door frame this coming episode. I'm kidding. I don't know what they're going to do there.
Do you think they're going to kill another person?
Who?
Another surprise character?
As much as Bubba says they're not going to kill Moiraine, I have to tell him he's right because she's not going to die.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling she's not going to be in season 4.
The preview is hinting at this, that both Lanfear and Moiraine will be gone.
Yeah. I mean, you could see that coming for a mile away.
Yeah, but the preview
especially with Rosamund Pike leaving Czechoslovakia, coming back and taking plays in London.
Yeah.
Come on. Actors got to work.
You gotta work.
She's singing again, ladies and gentlemen. She's singing again. A special song just for you book readers.
Yeah. I'm all for Rosamund Pike to be away for some time, but I will miss Moiraine.
Yeah.
She was incredible. I really love it.
Yeah.
And I like her in the books too. It's also my favorite character.
Have you listened to any of the audiobooks that she's read for The Wheel of Time?
No, I don't
She's
listen.
very, very good. Read you should just go to Audible and just get book 2 and listen to the flicker scene. It's fabulous.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't have money.
Okay. Well, sing to your husband so that he'll give you some money so that you can get it.
He's not here, so I cannot.
He can send it electronically. Just tell him to buy it for you.
No, he already knows now that this song is not of my creation, that it's just folklore, Brazilian folklore. He knows that.
Okay.
It just goes to show how my people are. Like, we also have songs about chocolate.
I like songs about chocolate. I'm a diabetic though, so I'm not allowed to engage in them.
Oh, do you think that the next episode will be a little bit longer?
No more than 70 minutes.
Yeah, no? Do you think we are going to see if Perrin is a dark friend, is a Black Aja thing next episode? Or do you think...
Oh, well, I've seen another screenshot of, it looks like Swan or Leanne laying on the floor.
It's happening.
Which means the coup. The coup's
It's happening. We are going to see it.
But will Perrin be part of it because she's a dark friend?
No. I don't think so.
And what you're saying is the coup's going to happen and it's going to end up being Gai'don and or Galad that helps them get out as opposed to Min.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because in the books, like, they kind of help, but Min is the instigator, right? Do you think they are going to be not shielded, also like stilled?
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess
That's
it depends
what
on whether they're going to do the Salador storyline, how they're going to make Egwene Amyrlin.
no, this they are going to do. Egwene will become Emerald.
Well, yeah, they foreshadowed it too much
Yeah,
already. But as to how they get there, that could all change.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I would not fire Sofia Canito if I didn't have to.
Yeah, I think they're going to be stilled. At least one is.
It would, well, that would be true to the books. So
No, I think it's a good way to show Elida's character.
Yeah.
That she will do anything.
Yeah.
Anything for the light.
Cross me and I'll never forget. Yeah. Those were Elida's words. Show race.
Yeah, and that's
Excellent
also
delivery.
a reflection on Elayne's mother, right? So Morgaze.
Yeah.
So
Good point. Are they going to do anything with the rest of the season? I guess not, probably, huh?
with what?
With Robin and Morgaze. Was there any shots in the
No.
Oh.
No.
So that's just going to be left on the table.
No,
Okay.
I think that Raven, we are going to just realize that it's Raven trying to kill Elayne.
So they will reveal that. Huh?
I think they were going to reveal that because there was like this lanfear is acting on her own kind of, and she tried to get Raven and Ishamael to comply, and Moiraine is kind of trying to get Raven to betray lanfear. So they have this like not change loyalties, but like they are trying to make alliances, but they are so like so selfish, and the alliances kind of shift all the time depending on it. But I can see Mugijin's like, yeah, sure, I can kill Elayne. It's like it's nothing for her. It's nothing to her. So right, and she's already there. So maybe we get a scene with Raven and Mogi where this is made clear that Raven was take over the throne.
Yeah.
Right.
I have no idea. I'm not trying to make any predictions because after Rafe killed Loial, I have no idea what he's doing.
I mean, certainly.
I mean, I understand why he did it, but I just don't know what he's doing. I can't predict him now.
We have to have Rand and Raven fight.
Not this season, we don't.
No, in the future.
Yeah.
So they have to set it up because it's quite a fight with
Balefire and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they have to set it up in a way that the stakes are about Elayne, right? Because it has to be personal. At this point, Rand is Rand. So he has to have something against Ravin.
He didn't have anything against Sammy. He didn't even know who Sammy was, and he took care of him.
Yeah, but that's my point. He didn't even know who that guy was that appeared out of nowhere. But he has to know what Ravin is all about to be able to get that level of like, I want to destroy this guy.
Oh, yeah, I want to wipe him out of the pattern. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to do it by killing Matt or killing Aviendha, you don't think? Because that would be enough to make Rand mad.
Yeah, they can go both ways. Yeah. But I don't know. I hope we get the fourth season. So let's see.
Yeah, I know. Folks, here's what you need to do. On all social medias, if you're on social media, find Sony Pictures, them first, then Amazon Prime. First, Sony Pictures, then Amazon Prime, and demand a renewal for season 4. Please do so. I've almost every Instagram post that I can.
Mm-hmm.
I plead for season 4, even though I'm not going to be covering it. Don't care. I want to see it, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he's retiring because he
Because
wants to
Priscilla's
live
just too good. I can't foil her. And so it's time for the champ to put the gloves away.
He just wants to live on an island somewhere.
Away from everyone.
Yeah. He won't have TV or internet connection. He will be off the grid.
Yeah. Don't worry, folks. I'm not going to become the Unabomber. I'm just going to stop being on the internet.
Yeah. So what are we having planned for next week? It's your last time
Nothing
for the Wheel
special.
of Time.
I'm just simply going to say goodbye, and that's going to be it.
Okay.
Anything else about this episode or spoilers before we go?
We spoke about Child Valda enough, I think. Let the man rest.
You know what? I think we should talk a little bit about it.
Okay, that's
You know
good.
how happy I am that Morgay storyline won't be happening with him? Not saying that the Morgay storyline won't be happening, because I have no idea what they're going to do. But it won't be him.
I don't feel it will happen.
Yeah, you think they're going to just take it off the table completely?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans are hoping that. And I'm hoping it too.
It's in bad taste if they do it, I think.
Yeah. And I'm happy that the television show has shown more class and decided not to do any of that stuff. Very glad.
Yeah, me too. So I think they are going to continue on this tendency.
Yeah, I hope so.
There is a way of actually getting more gays out of the way without the whole thing. So it's just a political thing. It's just a coup.
Or even just something just happening with, caused by Robin.
It will be caused by Raven, most probably.
Yeah.
But more directly there, like that he removes her completely. And then she has to run away.
Right.
So that he doesn't kill her.
Amadesia of all places. For crying out loud, girl. What are you doing?
Bad choices.
Bad choices.
Yeah.
Just like my choice to end this podcast now.
Okay.
Thanks, folks, for watching. See you next time for one more. Bye.
Bye.